All right.
Okay, welcome everyone to the May 9th, 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. This is the first call. So we are operating under the following procedures. This session is being audio recorded. Please be advised that today we are also recording the video of the proceedings. We will not use a chat feature in this meeting. To ensure sound quality, the default rule for this meeting is that everyone will remain on mute. Commissioners and staff will generally remain on mute except when speaking or voting. This meeting is open to the public, but is not a public hearing. Therefore, no members of the public may speak unless specifically invited to do so. If a member of the public creates an audio or video disruption, they may be manually ejected from the meeting upon recommendation of the staff or chair. We appreciate your attendance at this meeting. Should you have any questions about this process, you may call our staff at 860-444-5813 after the meeting has ended. With that, I turn over to the chair.
You're on mute, Greg.
Greg, mute.
Thank you. So number one, call to order and appointment of alternates. We're missing two members tonight, Victor and Tim Bleasdale. So we'll appoint Doris and Bert as members tonight. Welcome. Number two, approval of the April 25th, 2023 meeting minutes. We have a motion in a second.
A motion to approve.
Second. I second that.
To approve the minutes, Karen seconded it. All in favor? Aye.
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 Abstain.
Okay, and Bert, 4-0, and Bert abstained. He was not in attendance. Item number three, application receipt PL-23-8, request of the town of Waterford First Selectman for municipal improvement in accordance with section 8-24 of the Connecticut General Statutes to sell a portion of town-owned property located at 51 Daniels Avenue. We'll act on that in just a minute. The second item is PL-23-9, request of Waterford Central LLC and 61A Myrock LLC owners, Sigcon Associates LLC, applicant for site plan approval to locate a multifamily development on property located at 61 and 61A Myrock Avenue in accordance with sections 8.1.3, 16.1.2, and 22 of the zoning regulations and is shown on plans titled Waterford Central Site Development Plans dated 3/16/23, revised to 5/2/23, and action is required by 7/13/23. We're just accepting that for receipt tonight. Do we know when that's going to be heard? Is that going to be heard at the next meeting? Okay, that will be heard on the meeting of what is it,
23rd.
23rd. Okay, great. Next item is item number 4, application review PL-23-8, request of the town of Waterford First Selectman for municipal improvement in accordance with section 8-24 of the Connecticut General Statutes to sell town-owned property located at 51 Daniels Avenue. And Mr. Hanfield, you're here on the application receipt, right? So
I just wanted to listen in, so I'm all set. I appreciate it.
okay, so you know we're going to hear it on the 23rd.
That's correct. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Take care.
Take care. Okay, so we have somebody here on that?
You mean on the application? Yeah, we have Mark giving the staff report. We also have Kate Erickson from Learn and Nick Heppel and Mark's going to present the staff report.
Okay.
Okay, so
Everybody have a staff report from this afternoon?
yes, what I did is that there were revisions made to some of the language in the original staff report, and that's what I forwarded you the revised version.
Yeah, it's Tim and Karen and Bert and Doris have it.
I have it, but I don't know that I've given it like a thorough going over.
Okay. Tim, did you get it?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Okay. So go ahead, Mark.
Okay. All right, so what this is this is a CGS Connecticut General Statutes 824 application. It concerns the sale of a portion of the property at the Southwest School, located at 51 Daniels Avenue. The portion to be disposed of or sold will be sold to Learn, and there will be remaining property will be retained by the town. Along with my staff report, you also had a map that outlines the property boundaries and the proposed land that will be retained by the town. And as a result of that, the portion to be left over to be sold to Learn. As with any 824 application, there needs the commission needs to find that the sale is consistent with our latest 2012 plan of conservation and development and the various chapters and aspects of that plan. This report outlines those findings, and various chapters are outlined and actually included in the report, chapters from the plan that shows consistency with those various aspects of the plan. Just to briefly go over to you the revisions that were made, there were 2 revisions made from the original staff report. The first one was within the executive summary. It's a more descriptive description of Learn, and that they are an educational service center that was established pursuant to section 1066A of the Connecticut General Statutes. That was in the revision to the staff report. The second is contained within the proposed motion, and that the portion of the property being retained by the town, the town would still have the ability to negotiate any easements in favor of Learn over that portion of the property being retained by the town as a result of the sale. So the findings. Well, first of all, does anybody have any questions on the staff report and any of the language in there right now?
I have one question. You're mentioning these easements and it's in favor of Learn. What are they looking at? It sounds like they have something in mind. What are they looking at for an easement?
I'm not sure.
This is Nick Keppel, for the town. It's more the town that is seeking to retain certain interest in the property so that the town and the tower, the cell tower tenant, there's a cell tower at the southeast corner of the property shown on the map, bordered in yellow. The town has a long-term lease with the tenant of that, and the tenant needs access to the cell tower for repairs and improvements. So we want to have an easement along that side of the property so that the town can continue to afford access to its tenant. And then the town intends to retain the property on the west side bounded in red. So, and there may need to be as well. Well, I think that's the heart of it. So it's more the town that's seeking to have access over some of Learn's property potentially, and some of this easement, these easement issues may have to come back for, to the Planning and Zoning Commission once a more precise easement area is defined. So that what we're looking for the Planning and Zoning Commission to review tonight as part of the 8-24 review is the use, the concept of what used to be the Southwest School, the lion's share of the property, 15.36 acres roughly of the 19 and change acres, is looking to have the Planning and Zoning Commission find that, the use by Learn for a school is consistent with the town's plan of conservation development. And the Learn is going to seek state funding. It's going to take a year or two to secure that funding. And in that process, during that process, there'll be further refinement of some of these easement area issues. And we expect that we'll come back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a final review of precisely, with an A2 survey of exactly the meets and bounds of every portion of any easement area that's going to ultimately be either conveyed to Learn or retained, easement rights retained by the town. I hope that answers your question.
I mean, not really, because my understanding is that anything outlined in red would be retained by the town, and that would include that cell tower area. So why would we need an easement on land that we retain?
I think the goal was just if there was any flexibility about talking about easements, as we just saw this today, it would just allow us to continue to have conversations. I don't foresee us needing an easement at this point, but we've only had about 4 or 5 hours to look at this. So we just were hoping to have a little flexibility around the easement language.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a quick question for Mark in reference to the other side of the property. What's the purpose of the town retaining that strip?
Well, that's also to provide an access, whether it's for walking trails or hiking trails or something, or a trail, because it is narrow. There's an existing open space parcel that is owned by the town. That's identified there. So this is also one way of being able to get from that open space to go around the property as well. So it's just a way to keep a continuity of access.
All right, thank you.
So I just have a question. When I'm looking at this, I don't know how accurate these red lines are, but some of those properties on High Street look like they're encroaching on what would be the town property. Is there a problem with that?
Well, yeah, as you can see, that area there is a little wider in width than the rest of the red outline just below it. That is in order to accommodate at some point in the future, whatever needs to be done to get those properties, into or actually out of town property. So there's enough width after where those properties are encroaching into the Southwest School property. We're still going to be able to maintain an access. And there's enough width there to provide both for accommodating the properties that are encroaching onto Southwest School and also to maintain a portion for the town to be able to walk around those properties and maintain that continuity of access.
Okay. Any other questions or? Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Just if I may further explain that we have a draft contract that the town and Learn are discussing, and in that contract, the town has the responsibility to resolve these encroachments. We're aware of the encroachments, and as Mark says, the reason it's wider there is the town will endeavor to resolve the encroachments essentially by, our plan is to offer the encroached area to the abutters through a boundary line adjustment. And so this wider red area there allows us to accomplish that. But that's the motivation for that is because Learn doesn't want to, understandably, they don't want to take on the responsibility of solving that encroachment problem. The town will take on that responsibility contractually as part of its proposed agreement with Learn.
Yeah, great. Okay, that cleans it all up. Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead,
One
Karen.
last question, and this might be beyond the scope of this discussion. Is there an expectation? I mean, we're looking at lines on a map right now that Learn would put up like a giant fence, or are these just lines on a drawing that would exist, you know, only on this piece of paper. I'm thinking about this access that the town is retaining and just how wide is that corridor that the town is retaining?
Well, and this is, again, this is the conceptual plan, but to answer your question, the width is, it's a 20-foot width where you see the narrow area. And then roughly 60 feet is the wider portion that comes off of Daniels Avenue behind the properties that are encroaching. That's, as I'm aware of at this point, there are no plans for fencing or restricting access or anything like this. Certainly when Learn goes to develop the property in the future, they would have to come back in front of the commission for a site plan.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not creating like this really narrow, like somewhat uncomfortable walking path area. But 20 feet sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, do we have anything else on it?
So
We did, I think you weren't done. You said you would, have questions at this point. I don't know, was there more?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Great. Anyone want to make a motion on this?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
To approve the planning and zoning, Connecticut's General Statute 824 application PL 23-8 to dispose for sale a portion of the town-owned parcel known as 51 Daniels Avenue Southwest School, and that the town may negotiate easements in favor of Learn over the property being retained by the town if needed for Learn School project by adopting the findings 1 through 3 of the staff report, and to find that the proposal is consistent with the town of Waterford 2012 Plan of Preservation and Conservation and Development.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made by Tim, seconded by Bert. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, let's just call for a vote. All in favor of Tim's?
Aye.
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 Aaron's aye.
Aye.
Doris. Tim and Bert.
Aye.
Aye.
Tim. Okay, 5-0. Thank you. Thank you for presentation. And moving on to number 6, administrative review. Is there anything to go over?
no, we don't.
Not at this
Okay.
time.
No correspondence received.
No correspondence.
Okay, any updates on past or ongoing projects or upcoming projects?
We have the 8-20, excuse me, we have the 8-30G coming up in June. We have Waterford Woods coming up in May. We don't have,
No.
I don't think we have anything else to report on at this time.
Okay, great.
I have a question.
Yes.
2 questions, actually. With this Waterford Woods thing coming up,
Mhm.
were you guys able to find anything from the COG about the traffic person being available?
Yeah, what we did was actually, we're sending this out for a third party review with a traffic consultant on the town side. So what the project itself is going to require OSTA and state approval as well for the traffic, because it's considered a major traffic generator. So the COG itself does not provide individual engineering services for traffic reviews
Okay.
on individual projects. So, but like I said, the town is exercising its right to, or the commission, I should say, is exercising its right to retain the services of a third party traffic engineer, the cost of which is going to be borne by the applicant.
Okay. And then my second question is kind of to Greg, and I asked this last time. The POCD is,
Yeah.
we were going to do that meeting.
Gotta get
I-
but yeah, that's-
I could do something like the weekend of the May 20th. Otherwise, we have to push into like mid-June probably for
Yeah.
my personal schedule. I don't know
Okay,
how you guys, I don't know where you guys are.
Jonathan, can we talk about that tomorrow?
Yes,
Maybe come up with a time frame for that meeting?
sure.
Probably will be mid-June, Karen, because I can't do the week of the 20th. Or actually, the 20th is a Saturday, right? So you're talking about the week of the 22nd. I still can't do that one either.
Well, I
Plus we
think
have-
do we need to do it on a weeknight or can we do it? I thought we had talked about doing it on like a Saturday.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Still can't do it on the 20th, but okay. Let's figure out mid-June. John, we can talk about that tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and just to let you know, we did get correspondence from Rory Jacobson, the consultant. She sent us a draft link to the introduction, or a link to the draft introduction for it, which I will distribute to everybody for them to, she wants input from the commission, so I'll forward that link to you. I received it this afternoon before the meeting, in between, the end of the workday and now, so I will forward all that to you so you can take a look at the progress she's made.
Okay, great.
I only asked because I have a big project coming up, so I'm just trying to keep it in my head before I get lost on my own thing.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
All right.
Anything else or a motion to adjourn? Doris, this will probably be your quickest meeting. Just so you know, so you're the new person, but this is quick. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that
Motion
motion.
to adjourn.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Karen. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Hey, thank you, everyone. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Sure.